So some final words. Now that you've been through the big picture, you know what you're doing. You know how to handle conflict and resolve conflict. You can do it in an accelerated fashion, whether it be on a cold call, or you can do it in a slow boil moment when you're face to face. You can stop children from fighting or manage relationships as you need to manage relationships. And while doing so, you can also close projects, close plans, close concepts. You can close someone on your favorite movie you just saw, or your favorite camera you like to shoot, or your favorite car you like to drive. Some other little closing final words I might share with you. In general, just as I try to make sure that individuals hang up first, because I want to have that sense of empowerment, and you want to make sure that there's no objection lingering, you can also let them have the last word. That's all good. It's like, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, my thanks are more important. It's okay. Let them say thank you last. It's okay to give them that sense of empowerment. It's something we do actually with kids all the time. We're adult kids roaming around the world where we create incentives. When you do something right, you get rewarded. When you do something wrong, you get reprimanded. You can actually build that into the sales process. When they do something that's right and pleasing, reach across the room, shake their hand. Just do it. Yeah, you didn't sign the contract yet, but I agree with you. That's awesome. I think all orphans should be saved. And you shake their hand, you build that relationship. Therefore, at the end of the call, at the end of the relationship, the contract, you shake their hand as part of the whole process. And if they say something absolutely grotesque like, I want you out of my house or something, then you just slow down for a second and you make sure there's a penalty to that. It's like, well, there goes our relationship, or what have you. The tempo slows down, or whatever it is. There are, as they call love languages, there are 5 love languages. There's words of affirmation, there's physical touch, there's acts of services, and so on. You can do a Google search on that stuff and get an understanding of that. So if you're with someone that really receives well physical touch, slap them on the back, hit them on the knee, say, great, I completely agree with you. If you have someone whose language is more so words of affirmation, then you stop complimenting them, or you compliment them more. And just like the animals we are, we will naturally move in the direction that we're being molded to move in. Remember, though, these can be used for manipulation. The goal is never to do that. You lead with the needs of your person in front of you first. And you make sure that what you do embodies where they want to go, because you don't want to mold and manipulate because you want to. Please. Number 1, rule 1. And lastly, yes, of course, you stay positive. You never interrupt your individuals unless you're truly trying to control. Because when you interrupt someone, you're controlling the scenario. And there are times that I do. If a boardroom's getting out of hand and whatnot, I need to step up and step over everybody and say, look, this is how it's going to go down. But on the most part, I try to never interrupt anything, let people process at their speed. And by the fact that you never interrupt and you let them control the tempo, it keeps them in the sense of control, even though you're the actual one controlling the tempo. But it lets them stay in that sense of control. And therefore, it's easy for everyone to shake hands when it's all done. And when it's all finished and said and done, it should feel good. You should be friends. If it does not feel good, then there's often somewhere that's been a loss, and that can be negotiated as well. You might feel taken advantage of because you dropped the price way too fast, which reminds me, I should go into that. A drop close. I have a device, a widget. The widget is on sale for it is sale price $1,000. But for you, I'm going to make it $150. The first thing you're going to think is, what is wrong with that widget and why are you trying to sell it to me? And who did you upsell last week about it? But as we do our sales process, well, my last word is you build the perceived value. So I might have $1,000 widget, and you'll see this done on TV ads all the time. And they build the perceptive value of that product so high that it's like, you would think that a product like this is worth at least $150,000, but for 26 monthly payments of $290, you too can be the flash owner of Sir Widget. They build the perceived value very, very high. And then by the time you actually get to the sale price, the MSRP, the manufactured suggested retail price, the MSRP, you then end up being right at where they want it to be or below what the perceived value is. Therefore, it's going to be a very easy close. Then you only use drop closes at the very, very last minute. Little thing for you. So most of the projects and products that I've sold, even though it can have a vast array of pricing, whether it be a house, a car, or a website design, I build the perceived value so high that when we actually come in at the actual final price, there's no objections. There are no problems. Anyway. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you joined us. I'm glad you joined me. And I look forward to answering any questions you might have as we continue to work together to getting you to become the best negotiator, the best salesperson, and the best community member you can ever build yourself as you build these relationships and make history in your own life.